Welcome to the deep dive. Okay, look, there's just so much information swirling around out there, especially on critical stuff like cybersecurity. It can feel, well, overwhelming trying to keep track of regulations, compliance, and just figuring out how companies actually protect their digital assets.
Yeah.
So our mission today, we're taking this dense material on cybersecurity regulations and compliance, specifically focusing on information security governance, IS governance, and boiling it down. We want to give you that shortcut, those aha moments, making it actionable and hopefully memorable.
Absolutely. And, understanding IS governance is, I think, more crucial than ever. We're way past just talking about firewalls and antivirus software.
Right.
This is about a whole strategic framework. It's about how an organization weaves security into its very DNA, from the boardroom all the way down. It's really the difference between just hoping you're secure and actively, strategically building security in.
Okay, let's unpack that. Our source defines information security governance as basically the collection of practices related to supporting, defining, and directing security efforts. But I think the real nugget here is it's not just doing security things. It's about how the organization ensures security is a core part of the business, not some add-on. That feels like the big shift.
Exactly. And when you look at how it works, it's really two things. Yes, implementing security solutions, but also having this tightly connected management method alongside it. It's involved at all levels.
Okay.
And importantly, the who. Our source points to governance committees, maybe the board of directors. It shows this is a top-level strategic concern, not just, an IT problem.
Yeah, that distinction really clarifies where the power sits, because the source also differentiates it from IS management. That's more the planning, implementing, enforcing policy.
Right, the how-to.
And then IS operational, the day-to-day implementation, deployment, keeping the controls running. So if you think about building a secure fortress, governance is like the architect, setting the vision, the principles, signing off the big plan.
The blueprint.
Management is the construction manager, making plans, hiring crews, making sure rules are followed. And operations, they're the guards on the wall, patching holes, responding 247. Governance, what and why. Management, how. Operations.ll do. Makes sense.
Perfectly put. Governance sets the direction.
Okay, so with that foundation, I was really interested in how this actually, gets implemented. The source talks about planning, and it really stresses this top-down approach.
Yeah.
Why is that specific direction so vital?
Well, it's absolutely critical. Security fundamentally needs buy-in from the very top to work effectively. You've got the information security team, InfoSec, right? They handle the security work, but they don't exist in a bubble. They're led by the CISO, Chief Information Security Officer, and that person reports directly to senior management. That's key. Then department heads take those plans, which are designed by InfoSec and crucially approved by senior management, and implement them in their areas. It ensures everyone's aligned top to bottom.
So it's not just one big plan, but specific types. Our source breaks it down nicely. The strategic plan, that's the long-term vision, and it has to include a risk assessment.
The central.
Then the midterm tactical plan and the very detailed short-term operational plan. It really highlights that security isn't just reacting. It's a planned journey from the 5-year goal down to, what needs doing today. Security isn't just wished for, it's engineered.
Exactly. And these aren't flimsy plans. They're robust. They detail resource distribution, budgets, who's doing what, schedules, step-by-step procedures. It's not just theory, it's practical. If you've ever been involved in any kind of planning in an organization, you'll recognize this level of detail. It's what makes these plans real and integrated.
Right. Beyond just the planning mechanics, there are these core principles that sort of guide the whole philosophy of IS governance. Our source says 6. 1, establish organization-wide security. 2, adopt a risk-based approach key. 3, set direction for investments. 4, ensure conformance with requirements, internal and external. 5, foster a security-positive environment that sounds important but may be tricky. And 6, review performance against business outcomes. It's like the Constitution for security.
Yeah, and if we connect that to the bigger picture, these principles directly feed into what the IT Governance Institute calls the 5 basic outcomes of IS governance. Things like strategic alignment, risk management, resource management, value delivery, and performance measurement.
Oh, okay.
These outcomes are really what make security feel integrated into the organization's mission, not just some separate, burdensome task list. Without achieving these, security efforts can feel, well, a bit disconnected.
That makes sense. It ties it back to the business goals. So thinking about those outcomes, Strategic alignment, risk management, resource management, value delivery, performance measurement. Which one resonates most with you, or maybe which one do you see organizations struggle with the most? Something to ponder. Now, let's get into the nuts and bolts, the actual building blocks. NIST SP 800-100, which is a pretty key standard, lists essential components for effective governance.
Right.
Things like strategic planning, and that covers the whole enterprise, IT, and cyber infosec specifically. Also, a clear organizational structure, defining roles and responsibilities, integrating with the enterprise architecture, and documenting security objectives clearly in policies.
And speaking of roles, the source lists quite a lineup. You've got the C-suite, CEO, COO, CIO, CISO, Chief Risk Officer, Chief Privacy Officer.
Yeah.
Then senior managers, security pros, data owners, data custodians, the actual users and auditors. It really drives home that security is or should be everyone's responsibility, but orchestrated carefully.
Definitely not just an IT thing.
Not at all. And when we think about enterprise architecture is the whole IT landscape, right?
Yeah.
Information security architecture is a core part of that, detailing how security fits with the mission, not just tacked on.
So, pulling this all together, what's the big takeaway? Our source offers this first conclusion, which I thought was really powerful. Security is a continuous process, simple but profound. For security to be good, the documentation needs to be concrete, clear, well-defined, and maybe, most importantly, for any security plan to work, it has to be developed, maintained, and actually used.
Yes, not just sitting on a shelf.
Exactly. It can't be shelfware. It has to be alive, evolving with the business. That really struck me as the practical reality check. Okay, we've sketched out the strategy, the principles, the players, but how does this translate into daily operations? Our source really pivots here to the practical side, highlighting two processes that are just fundamental for good IS governance. Change control or change management and data classification. Let's dig into those.
Okay, change management first. Think of it like this. You're trying to fix a complex machine while it's still running. You wouldn't just yank out a part randomly, right?
Why not?
Right. Change management ensures that any change new software, an update, a policy tweak, anything doesn't accidentally weaken your security. It's about protecting what you've already built from, well, unintended consequences as things inevitably change.
You know, it reminds me of those times your phone updates overnight and suddenly your favorite app stops working.
Exactly.
That feeling. Now imagine that on a huge organizational scale, those little oops moments could be disastrous, which is why the requirements listed are so specific. Changes have to be monitored, orderly, controlled. You need formal testing. Critically, you need rollback plans.
Yeah.
You have to be able to undo it if things go wrong.
Essential. Backup plans.
Users need a heads up before it happens. You need to analyze the impact on security and business processes, minimize negative effects on performance, and finally, it all needs review and approval, usually by a change advisory board, or CAB.
That CIB is crucial. It's the formal gatekeeper.
Yeah.
Now, moving to data classification, this is like organizing a massive library. You need to know what's where and how valuable it is.
Okay.
It's the process of analyzing and sorting all your data, structured, unstructured, into categories based on, say, file type, content, sensitivity level, metadata. It's really the primary way you figure out how to protect data based on its need for secrecy or confidentiality.
And the reasons for doing this are pretty compelling.
Yeah.
You can identify your sensitive files, secure the really critical stuff, track data that falls under regulations like GDPR or IPI,
Right.
make search better, find trends, even spot duplicate or old data that's just taking up space. It's about knowing what you have so you can protect it smartly, not just throwing the same blanket security over everything.
And the benefits here are really broad. Yes, protecting valuable stuff, identifying critical assets, but it also helps you choose the right security controls. It's often mandatory for compliance. Plus, it helps define who gets access, how data can be used, and importantly, its life cycle, how long you keep it, when you securely destroy it. It's full life cycle management.
The source even lays out a 7-step process. Define objectives, categorize data types, set classification levels, like confidential, private, sensitive, public, those common ones. Define the automation process, set the criteria, define how the classifications will be used, and then monitor and maintain. It seems thorough.
It needs to be, and the best practices really hit home. Know your compliance rules first. Start realistically. Don't try to boil the ocean on day one. Use automated tools where you can, because doing this manually at scale is well, painful.
I can imagine.
Validate the results, and then use the classification. Apply it to your security policies, your data loss prevention tools, even business intelligence. It's foundational.
So there you have it, from the high-level strategy and principles of IS governance, down through the key roles and components, and into these really practical pillars like change management and data classification. It's clear that this isn't just jargon. It really is the foundation for building a resilient cybersecurity posture.
Absolutely. And if there's one final thought from the source material to really hammer home, it's that simple but crucial line: security is a continuous process.
Yeah.
Your documentation needs to be concrete, defined, clear. And any security plan, to be worth anything, must be developed, maintained, and actively used. It's about ongoing effort and adaptation.
That's such a critical point. Security isn't a destination you arrive at. It's how you travel. It's ongoing. So we encourage you, our listener, to think about how these ideas apply maybe to your own data, maybe to organizations you deal with. How does understanding security as this continuous living process change how you think about digital trust? Something to mull over.